You didn't have to count. I just assumed that it's like go means go. Um,
Go Speed Cleo, go Speed Cleo, go Speed Cleo, go.
I well,
Oh, well, there was a popular Japanimation show called Speed Racer back in
hmm
the 1960s. It was one of the first examples of Japanese animation that was dubbed for English language consumption. It was very popular when my parents were children. And the opening theme song would end with "Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go."
I mean that's fair. That's a song.
Yeah, so
That's a song.
when the Wachowskis made The Matrix, they were asked after that, like, "Wow, that was amazing. If we gave you guys a blank check to just make anything you wanted,
hmm
you've earned that from the studio. Warner Brothers is behind you 100%. What do you want to make?" And they said, "We want to make a Speed Racer movie." And what they've made is one of the most bizarre films I've ever seen. Strongly recommend it. I don't know if it's better or worse if you haven't seen the original 1960s cartoon, but it's it's one of the most artistic films with one of the largest budgets I've ever seen. I think viewers of my stream will find it comforting because there are just faces that like will completely fill the screen, like moving from left to right and like doing all sorts of weird stuff. So like
Doesn't sound comforting.
while the racers are racing, it'll be like zoomed in on their faces, like inside their helmets or whatever sometimes. But then
hmm
coming in, here, let me on my stream. I'm gonna make my camera really big so I can show how this would work. Then so you'd be like looking directly into the racer's eyes, and then coming in from the left and the right would be announcers in different languages saying things like, racer number 45 is coming around the curve. It's a little tight there. 46 is right behind him. Oh no, blah, 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 blah. Like narrate, and you're like seeing just the race through the eyes of the person while somebody is sweeping left to right across the screen describing the action. They had an insane budget and they did stuff like that. It's but yeah,
Sounds like a lot, actually, Joe.
if you enjoyed The Matrix, you should watch Speed Racer. Uh it's got the Yakuza in it. It's got John Goodman as Pop Racer. It's a really good movie.
Okay,
It's got
like
Christina Ricci as Trixie. I think Emilio Estevez is Speed. Is that right? Hold on.
I, sounds right.
I mean, they had a huge budget, but like, yeah. Let's see. Oh, sorry, Emil Hirsch, not Emilio Estevez. I was close, but yeah, it's got Susan Sarandon in it. It's got a huge budget.
Welcome to Joe tells me all about a movie that I will probably never see.
Yeah.
You and I both know that's true.
In fairness, I still haven't gotten around to watching season 4 of Red Dwarf.
hmm
I bought it. I see it every time I open the Apple TV. The problem is, I open the Apple TV like every 4 or 5 months, and it's usually to do something else. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to get to that.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Told Cleo I would watch that back in 2012, and I'll get to it eventually. No, it
That's all
wasn't quite
good,
that
Joe.
far back.
It's all good.
Yeah. Oh well. A lot of people are saying Happy New Year. Apparently, it is a new year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, learn something new every day.
And yeah, about the year. Tomorrow we're gonna find
About
out
the
it's a new
year.
year too. It's gonna be like, what again?
Ah. Anyway, Joe, aside from Speed Racer, sorry, Go Speed Racer, is that's the full title, isn't it?
It might be. Go Speed Racer Go is the lyric from the song, but
Okay, so it's just Speed Racer.
I think it's just Speed Racer 2008 film. If you were like
hmm
trying to find it on Wikipedia.
I'm. Stop putting your tips link in my chat, Joe.
Oh, sorry, I moved those things around for
Every time.
okay, the problem is I was, I was saying.
Okay, now I need to put my tip link in. I don't have a tip
Yeah,
link.
thanks.
I do have a
Cameron
tip
deleted
link.
it. Don't worry. Yeah, I was like, why is that? Okay. I was like, there's a lot of like weird icons and stuff in there that I'm not used to. I moved the windows so they were in different places than usual, and I got confused. Sorry, Cleo.
It's fair.
It's not as funny as if I did it on purpose.
No. Thank you, Paleo, for the 30-month resub. That's really nice of you. Freudianity for the 14-month resub says, God bless the Wachowskis. I've only ever seen The Matrix out of their movies, but I support them doing whatever they're doing. Absolutely. Hypothermic Addict resubbed for the 16 months. And Paleo cheered biddies again. Thank you. And we got ourselves a hype train. Choo-choo.
Oh, where's that thing? I have a thing for this.
Question about the VOD chill. It's the plan. It's just a case of me having brain power to put them over on the VOD channel.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of brain power. I don't know if you noticed this. My brain power is sorely lacking.
Yeah, I've been kind of, like the last few weeks have been a whole thing.
Like, yeah, no, tell me about it. I've been incredibly stressed. I'm only now sort of coming out of, like, everything. So, yay.
Yay.
But I at least am drinking breakfast.
There you go. I realized, I'm trying to change things up for the new year. It used to be that I would try to make a roast beef sandwich for breakfast, and then I'd be like, oh, that was too much food. And then I would regret it. And so then a lot of times I'd just not have breakfast. But then I was like, you know what? We're new year. Let's try and stop and think about how we can change processes, right? Like, I don't drink enough water. What if one of the first things I do every morning is I put water in the Nalgene? Next problem. Now I've got it next to me all day. Okay.
Right.
What if with this breakfast thing, what if I tried making myself half a sandwich? What if I take one piece of bread and slice it in half and put half as much stuff on it as usual? Maybe that will be enough food to get me going, but not so much that I'm like, oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. So we'll see how much of this stream is a mistake, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay.
Well, I don't like eating first thing in the morning. Just so you know, everybody, my sleep schedule is completely messed up. I literally just woke up. I woke up at 1 p.m. So I am I think I only woke up because of this stream, to be honest. But I have decided to have breakfast because I normally skip it because I don't like eating first thing in the morning. So I've now got a protein drink, which is here.
Ooh. What kind of protein? Is it like cheeses?
Yes, it's cheese protein.
Well, you can melt cheese into like a delicious like nacho sauce, and I mean the chips are a suggestion at that point.
Yeah, it is chocolate flavor. It is. It's got bananas in it as well. It's kind of bitter. At the aftertaste, so I'm gonna have to put some honey in the next one. But I'm making a point. Starting with something inside me is probably a good idea.
No, that's a lot. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Ugh.
Okay.
It's not bad, actually.
Yeah, I've just got my regular coffee here, which I can...
Well, I also have my massive water bottle, which I don't think people see very often.
Is it one of the ZombieCleo originals?
It is not. There's not like those are specifically for exercise. This I could not work out and carry this thing.
Gotcha.
It's huge and heavy when full of water.
Yeah, I've got just a court.
There were original
Nalgene.
ZombieCleo water bottles. Yeah, like in season 8, I think it was. I did a whole workout. That's where this skin comes from. Which was Hydrate, which was basically me selling candles as water bottles. And I made I made a whole series of. I mean, they're still available. We've got we've got like a shop, and so they've got they're like the original ones were like metal with Hydrate written on them. It's great. There you go. There's the link. It was a great thing. And I made up a little gym, and yeah, like I loved this skin so much that I had to use it on the Life series because it was just like, well, when am I ever going to use that skin again? The logo is so 80s synthy vibes. Oh, I mean, it was done like the person that did it, which is Denator, who's historically done all the Hermitcraft logos. They were just like, I just looked at an old VHS tape and I was like, yes, that's perfect.
I mean, that's all you need for a lot of this stuff. Just look at a VHS tape until you feel better.
Well, it was just like, I want it rainbow, and I want it 80s, and I want it retro, and it was just sort of like, okay, how about this? And then there was we went through a whole kind of background on it stage, and it was just like honestly, the text is great. Like the feel the burn on it is like the feel the burn pun for the fact it was candles was genius.
Oh, absolutely.
I loved it.
Okay. So I've got Cleo's thing in the upper left now. I realized when you were talking about your character design, I was like, nobody can see that. That's going to be a whole thing. Okay.
I'm sure most people know what my 80s skin is like.
I mean, I don't know. I've got questions in here, like, because, we got random people in here all the time. Like, I've got somebody here asking, like, what being on Hermitcraft is like. And I feel like, we express that, all the time.
What is being on Hermitcraft like?
It's
That's
like
the question.
It's like, have you ever... Are you involved in any organizations in your own community where the meetings are very long and very loud? That's kind of what being on Hermitcraft
Have
is.
you ever had a fever dream?
That's probably the best way to describe those planning calls with the Empire's people. I like how as soon as I said planning, you're like, oh, I know which one.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's just like everybody's yelling.
The Empire's people are a lot louder than the Hermitcraft.
Oh my god.
That is true.
It's like on Pee-wee's I was gonna say Pee-wee's House of Horrors, but that's not it. But you know what I mean? Pee-wee Herman's Pee-wee's Playhouse, when they say the secret word and everyone yells real loud, but all of the words are the secret word.
Hermitcraft meetings are very quiet. Because nobody like hermits as a rule are fairly passive about things.
Yeah.
They're just like, I will accept whatever the majority wants, and my life will be fine. So adding the Empires wasn't a bad shock to the system, but it was a shock to the system.
It was a loud experience.
I enjoyed it. The answer to what it's like being on Hermitcraft Chaos. I mean, only like what you see and what is experienced behind closed doors is different. It's just different. Like everyone on Hermitcraft is like ridiculously chill, like arguably too chill, I would say, in most instances. It's like I would like them to fight more for what they want, instead of going, well, I'll just make do with whatever.
Yeah.
Is Doc as chaotic as he comes across in his videos? No. He's as loud as he is on his videos.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not chaotic. He's very, like... You can reason with Doc. You might have to shout over him, but you can reason with Doc. Giddy. Oh, yeah, that was GLaDOS. GLaDOS has just walked over to go to bed. Because her bed is on the other desk.
I've started going through my notebook looking for project ideas for this year. And I realized that one thing that I'd kicked around at the end of a stream but never actually moved forward with. I don't know how to make a doormat, but it'd be cool to make a doormat that says live, laugh, come back with a warrant.
I mean... If you were happy with text popping up, that's easily doable with armor stands.
Oh, no. I wasn't talking about in Minecraft. Sorry, I was like...
like in real life?
I'm saying,
I'm
like...
pretty sure that's a real thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make... Like, how would you make a doormat in real life?
Well, you get a doormat, and then you spray paint it with a stencil.
Oh, yeah, okay. People are suggesting map art. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was trying to figure out... I was
Clarity
talking about the craft streams. My bad. I'm like, yeah, okay. So painting with spray paint would probably be a stencil would probably be the easiest, but is not something I'm like pulmonarily equipped for in this space from a ventilation standpoint.
Well, then you could just use regular paint and just stipple it.
Ooh, somebody says cut the letters out of rubber. That's true. If I get a rubber doormat where the top part is like already painted one color, and I just carve out with an X-Acto knife the letters. So I don't cut all the way through, but I cut into it. So if it was like a black rubber doormat with, let's say, like a green surface, right? If I just cut through the top layer to make the letters, that would work.
It would work. It would work.
Okay.
I still think my idea of painting would work better.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Badger says get a plain one and paint it. The straw sisal is the worst to have loose in the house. You'll be getting splitters forever. Yeah, I don't want to do a straw one. I wanted to do a rubber one.
NK says... warrants on Hermitcraft. You know what? We could have warrants if we wanted.
Yeah. We could get a warrant officer, and we could really go nuts with the whole thing.
When a hermit's ever going to just go nuts?
Yeah.
It's not a thing that we do.
I think, one of the problems I think we have on Hermitcraft, talking about not being bold enough, a lot of times we try to find story reasons to justify things. But what if we just come in and we're just like, okay, day one, it's a police state. I need to see your papers. And it's like, why is it a police state? Where's your papers?
You ask too many questions.
Yeah, like, let's just... You want to sell rocks? You can't sell rocks. Police state. Where's your papers? Yeah. I'm realizing I need a separate piece of paper to write down these ideas on. So, yeah, here I've got a gift bag that's technically made of paper, but
It's a gift bag that is technically made of paper.
Yeah, but like I feel like I've probably got. Oh, here's a piece of cardboard. Yay. Okay, so live, laugh, come back with a warrant doormat.
Joe for sheriff. No. I don't think Joe would make a good sheriff.
I think, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be worse than the Toy Story guy.
Hang on, brain. Pushed cheered biddies, thank you very much. Hypothermic haddock cheered biddies. Disco Quill cheered biddies, thank you very much. And Quirk just resubscribed for 34 months. Joe would fit better as Robin Hood. I mean, that's a statement.
I think that's true. It's like, Joe, why are you a cop this season? Because I want to make fun of cops. Joe, why are you Robin Hood this season? Because Robin Hood's awesome. I feel like the latter is going to get you more mileage.
I don't know. Most of our audience is okay with making fun of cops as far as I can tell.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, like, in terms of my heart being in the role, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Although I feel like making fun of cops would be a thing that you'd enjoy.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like it's also one of those things where I would. It's the sort of thing that we would. Honestly, so would Robin Hood. These would both be things where I end up in a situation where we have to have. Okay, agenda item on the meeting. Joe's role play. Too far. Period. Not question mark. So.
I mean, you could try not going too far.
Yeah.
That was just like, that's not gonna happen.
Well, no, the thing is, if I'm just like, every time that I say I'm gonna try harder this time, everyone else is just like, you didn't try hard enough. And I'm like, but I thought I took meaningful steps. They weren't meaningful, Joe. like it's not good enough for me to just say I'm gonna do better, because my thoughts on doing better and other people's thoughts on doing better are not gonna align.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Sorry.
I like that NK says, sometimes the key to comedy is not yes and, it's no, police state.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Surely that's a no but police state.
Yeah.
I'm finding doormats that have live, laugh, love, and doormats that have come back with a warrant, but not both. So market opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think, yeah, like that's what makes it great. So I'm making a list of like things that I kind of started but never really moved forward with, or things that I could do this year.
Mm-hmm.
I started designing a acrylic clue board but never moved forward. I started working. I purchased a sign with a cabin on it, with the intention to make like a creepy Halloween cabin sign.
Mm-hmm.
Never moved forward with it. I actually ordered something. Probably should have started making this list before I spent $150. By a quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So there is a company in Georgia that cuts pinball playfields out of plywood, and I got or I ordered yesterday, so it isn't in yet, a playfield that I can use to start like mounting test hardware on for making like a physical version of my Minecraft pinball machine.
Oh, sweet.
Like it's actually like a full scale playfield piece of plywood. It's gonna have the parts where the flippers and the slings and the stuff. The lower third of it is pre-cut. The rest of it, I would be like drilling stuff out myself, and then based on what I learned from that geometry test, I would go create like a file in CAD for the same guy to actually fully cut the same thing on like a $260 sheet of plywood. That's like actually like multi-decade pinball playfield, you know, like archival grade plywood. So that's, I think, going to be one of my big projects this year. The same guy also sells kits to construct your own pinball cabinet. So I could possibly paint a full-size, full-scale deep field cabinet to put the playfield in once it's done. But unlike the prototype quality playfield is $150, which I've already spent. The actual like long-term quality playfield is $260. The cabinet would be about $1,000. And that's like before the paint and the screws. That's like just like the pre-cut everything. So
well, sounds like you've got your work cut out for you.
Yeah. So it might be. I've seen them occasionally lower, and it might be cheaper for me to try to find somebody who's just like, I've got this extra pinball machine cabinet that I'm trying to get rid of. But that's more of one of those like, I'm gonna ask around.
Like a unicorn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is they might say, well, if you can pick it up today, that'd be, you know, great. And then I'm gonna be, oh, don't have a car, so it's like, well, now I gotta go to U-Haul and rent a truck, and it's like by the, you know. Oh, people are asking whether or not Tango is gonna put Steamboat Willie in Decked Out 3.
What?
So he used One-Eyed Willie for Decked Out 2, but he could use Steamboat Willie for Decked Out 3 now that he's in the public domain.
I have questions.
What?
And the question number one is, what makes you think Tango's going to do a Decked Out 3 anytime soon?
Well, obviously, the first Decked Out 2 was very successful. So, why not? Have you seen the doormats, Cleo, that say from one direction they say come in, and from the other direction they say go away?
I've got a hello goodbye one, but not the writing in the same way of writing.
Yeah, it's like the writing is like, yeah. So Salem is recommending, if I can figure out a way to do it, have Live Laugh come back with a warrant on one direction, and the other direction should say, hey, nice warrant. So, Cleo, do you have any craft project ideas for this upcoming year?
Craft project ideas? Not really. I might get back into making Fallout props again at some point. That's because mine have kind of got lost in the move, really.
Yeah.
Because it was just sort of like, how much do I want to take these things that I could easily recreate? Moving is big stressful. It was. But recommend getting out of landlord situation more than anything.
Yeah. I've got to go to the bank. Yeah.
What? Why are you going to the bank, Joe?
Well, because so eventually I would like to get a mortgage. But last time I tried to get a mortgage, they said, hey, remember when you paid off tens of thousands of dollars in debt and then didn't go into debt again for 5 or 6 years? Now you have no credit. And I'm like, well, what about all that debt I paid off? And they're like, doesn't count, too long ago. So about a year ago, I went and got a secured credit card. Do you know what a secured credit card is, Cleo? You might.
Yeah, you pay for it.
Yeah, I gave them $300, and then they gave me a credit card with a $300 credit limit. And I'm borrowing against that $300. And, oh, yeah. And it was crazy, too, because they're like, do you want to get this special type of insurance for if you die? That'll pay off the credit card. And I'm like, no, because you already have my $300. Like,
yeah.
And they're like, well, let's say that you die and it accrues interest between like when you die and when it's processed. You wouldn't want your family to have to deal with that. And I'm like, okay, it's 300. Even if I had to completely max the thing out right before dying, and then it was like 6 months. What are we talking about here? Like $80 in interest? Like, this is not. No, I am not gonna.
Situation that you're.
I am not gonna pay every month several dollars for insurance that will. There's no way I could possibly like end up. This is no. It's
just like.
And they're like, well, you really got it. I don't know if you're considering all the angles here. I'm like, I think I am. So
I think you're considering the angles that are not there, mate.
Yeah. But oh my gosh. So anyway, but they had said like if you come back in about a year, we might be able to like get you a small loan or something else that will help start building your credit. So I'm kind of at that point where it's been about a year, and we're gonna find out what my options are. Woo! But
fingers crossed, eh?
Yeah.
Cezero has resubscribed for 17 months. Thank you. Capitalism is weird.
I know, right?
She followed through the get close to the EU without leaving Great Britain plan through. Yeah, I did that. That's a thing I did. I am coming to you from inside my own house.
One day, I want to have a house. I'm just not there.
I want you to have a house too, Joe.
Yeah. Like, I think the big breakthrough for me on this pinball stuff was I realized that if I pay somebody else to do the carpentry for me, like at least in terms of the craft streams and stuff, it's like I was getting hung up on like, okay, I'm gonna have to build my own carpentry workshop in order to build the cabinet or in order to cut the playfield. It's like, no, I'll just pay somebody else to do that stuff, and then I can focus on like assembly and painting and things, as long as it's not like spray paint, because I don't have like a setup for ventilation for that. But yeah.
What kind of bullet paint? This is a weekly spread. Each of the little flower petals are going to be a day.
TMNWG says, why doesn't Hermitcraft have a separate minigame server that carries over between seasons so that you can keep decked out in the TCG?
Well, we have world downloads for that.
Yeah, we can always go back and play things on the world downloads. And also, it gets weird because then people are like, well, can you move materials between the worlds? Or, like, it just, I don't know, it gets weird.
And I think a lot of Hermits just like having the blank slate.
Yeah. Well, like,
I think at the end there, Tango was just like, I don't want to have to keep on servicing decked out.
Exactly.
You know, he deserves to have a life too.
Yeah, people from Arizona are people too. Man, I'm realizing I wrote notes like all over in every direction on this paper. Oh yeah, don't forget Gabo Abby's birthday's coming up in 7 days. I've got that written in here. Notes about Cleo's friend Abby. Goblin obsessed, ? January 12th, 10th birthday.
Yep, that's true.
So...
Although I don't know when we discussed that.
I don't know, but I've seen my notes.
That's weird.
It was probably last year. I would guess it probably was.
was.
It was probably
that you kept that note weirds me out a little bit.
No, but it's in the notebook. I mean, I wasn't gonna rip it out and go, well, that one's trash. Like, because I could still use the rest of the sheet.
Fair.
Pum, 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 dum.
Abby shocks in chat. You should know better than be shocked by this. It's Joe.
Dun, dun, dun. Badger says, I'm not looking forward to getting an entirely new credit rating when I move to the US. It's incredible how much is based on that over there. Yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't like it.
I mean, what else is based on it, as opposed from getting credit?
Well, but like, let's say that you wanted to have a house, you need to have credit. Let's say you wanted to have a car, you have to have credit. I mean, those are two pretty big things.
I mean,
right there
that's
already.
exactly the same as in the UK.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Badger Spanner says renting is a big one. Well, yeah, that's an example of getting a house. Right? The big thing with the U.S. is they just want you to be able to prove that you have 3 to 4 times... You have to have an income of 3 to 4 times what the rent is. Which is insane to me, because for most people, rent is like the single largest part of their thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was paying like 50% of my wage earnings into rent.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. Would not recommend.
Mm-mm. It is bad.
It's bad out there, guys. Keep safe. Keep safe. People keep telling me to buy a house. It's scary. Okay. What's scary is renting the same place for 18 years, looking back and see how much money you have given your landlord who does nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like...
That's scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know where my calculator is, but like, okay, so since my daughter was born, I've probably paid on average about $2,000 a month in rent.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's... She's almost 11. So that's 11 times 12. So it's like, what, 121 times 2,000. That's $242,000. Almost $250,000 into rent. If I had been putting that into equity, I'd be much better off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just since my kid was born. I've been renting since I graduated from school 5 years before that, you know. So, but although back then, you know, we weren't as worried about, you know, having more than one bedroom or like not having a bunch of people all crashing together. So Badger says, in the U.S., you can have prospective employers ask for your credit score. Oh, okay.
Well, that's weird.
I know that my dad says that, or said, and this was even back in the 90s, that they did, they didn't necessarily do credit score checks, but they did background checks on everybody who was, like, working in freight because they didn't want people with mob connections, tipping off people about like, oh, hey, this is a truck with the good stuff on it and stuff like that.
I mean, that seems like a gross invasion of privacy, but understandable, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'll unfortunately never afford a down payment on owning a house because it's 20% of the price of a house. It's hard to find anything below $1 million around here. Yeah, well, part of the reason why I moved to Scotland is because it's a lot cheaper here.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped with buying a house.
Yay.
I couldn't afford... I looked at the prices in my old hometown.
Yeah.
It was like... for what this house is, it was 400,000 ish. Honestly, all thing money feels so complicated. Yeah. It's like how much money you have to spend just to survive is ridiculous.
If I don't know if you saw, but there's a World Science Fiction Convention in Glasgow in August.
Yes.
Yeah. That seems interesting. That's in Scotland,
It does seem interesting, yes.
Yeah. So I'm
£400,000. How will you live with that?
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
I'm having.
Oh, hey, Jem. Yeah, sometimes it gets like this, where it's just like, yeah, money. But it's good to see you regardless. I mean, considering we were talking about other things to talk about at the beginning of the, before we went live, I'm not entirely sure how we got onto this.
I don't know. Yeah. Because it's because we were talking about how I got to go back to the bank.
Oh, yeah.
So that's on my mind, is like, I promise I have a real job. And then it's like, okay, well, how much money did you make? Okay, well, I made this much from Patreon, and I made this much from PayPal tips, and oh, I'm in a children's card game, and I got a few grand from that. It's like, yeah.
It's like, I promise it's a real job.
Yeah, I actually thought about bringing in the collector's card. So if, because it's like I'm bringing in all this other documentation and stuff, and it's just like...
You might as well. What are they going to do? Say, I just met the weirdest guy today.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it's a story. You know what he brought as evidence?
There's a card. He brought a playing card of himself.
I have to do taxes and paperwork soon. Yeah, me too. Yeah. My business account. I also need to pay a couple of grand in taxes.
Yeah, I've got my quarterly taxes due the 15th. Woo! Oh, tips are welcome via paypal.me/show.
Yeah, tips. We like tips. Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Denumon, for the 32-month resub. That's really appreciated.
But yeah, I don't know. The reason I mentioned the big science fiction convention in Scotland is it's like I'm really hoping that we hear back from the immigration people, and that Lauren can come, or Badger can come to the United States before then. But I'm also thinking, if they don't say anything positive, or we're still waiting indefinitely, I'm trying to figure out if there's a trip I can make to the UK that could arguably be a business expense.
I mean, do you want to come and do some brainstorming in person, Joe?
I mean, it's easier from a tax standpoint if I could be like, I flew to this convention that overlaps my business in these ways. I'm doing a YouTube series, because arguably my season 10 plans might have some science fiction elements to them, right?
Yeah.
So
thanks, Disco Quill, for the £20 tip. Hearts. Yeah, no, that's understandable.
But yeah, I was gonna say, so like, this is one of those like worst case fallback plans. Like, in theory, this trip should not happen because I'll be doing like stuff in the United States with my new spouse or getting married or something by then. But just as a fallback, like when I've been looking for like tax justifiable excuses to go to the UK.
I am happy to be your fallback option, Joe, here.
Yay. You'll always have a place in my heart, Cleo, as a fallback. Thank you.
I'm good with that. Anything more than that's weird.
Yeah, that's about as far as it's gonna go. Okay. Yeah, Badger says they've started working on some of the applications from the immigration office has. They share some data about like where they are in the queue, and they've started on some of the May applications from last year, which would, like, ours is in that stack, but
right.
It's like tens of thousands of applications, so.
Yeah. Joe, hello, business associate. I mean, we are.
Yeah.
We are business associates. We do work together, technically.
Yep. I'm working super hard right now. This is challenging.
This is work.
I know it is.
We're working right now. That's
well, arguably you're working. I haven't actually gotten any money. I'm just hanging out while Cleo works. Yeah, the thing is, I was so excited when I ordered that playfield, but I knew there was no way it was gonna be here in 24 hours. But then I was like, I kept trying to think of like other stuff to work on, and I just couldn't. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to work on that, so I'm just like, it's a new year. Let me review everything I did last year and see if there's any gaps, anything that I could.
It's bring your Joe to work day. Every day is bring your Joe to work day. Because he's there whether you want him to be or not.
Okay, Badger says there were only 3,000 applications in May 2023 for immigration. So, okay, so if they've gotten through 16 of them, we're not more than 3,000 away from being processed. Yay. Hey, we got our first tip of the stream rolling in. Let's see who that's from. Canarusha.
Now Joe's working.
Yeah, now I'm working. Tips are, Canarusha writes, tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Normally that's what I would say after this, but thank you, Canarusha. Took that off my plate for me.
It is a relief when people who are tipping do your job for you.
Yeah. And Personal Zombie Tips 10 says, now this counts as working? ? Arguably, yes. Thank you very much. That brings us up to 15 degrees angular, and we got another tip rolling in from Ink Curious for 24, who says, new year, new tip. Woo, so that's going to bring us up to 39. D. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that reminds me. I need to have a separate list for things I forgot to put in the other spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet where I'm listing every single part I need to order to build a functional deep field pinball machine. And I realized I need to add score displays to that.
Right, that makes sense. A list for the things you forgot to list.
Yeah. So that's the thing is I don't have that spreadsheet in front of me. So I've got my piece of cardboard that I'm gonna import into that spreadsheet later. Um, Are you playing any new games during the hiatus, Cleo?
I have been playing. I've actually been going back to The Sims a lot, but I've also been playing Baldur's Gate.
That's fun.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is a good game. I'm kind of waiting for my new computer to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah. That's something.
That should be around on the. It's supposed to be shipped on the 9th, so I'll probably get it like the 10th or the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be very pretty.
Ooh.
And by pretty, I mean it's going to work really well. What about? Oh yeah, we played. Me and Ren played Plate Up on Christmas and New Year.
That
was
cool.
a lot of fun.
I haven't played that one.
I would recommend. Like, I'm pretty sure me and Ren can fit you in at some point.
Okay.
Because we're both obsessed at this point.
Is it like is it multiplayer then?
It's multiplayer, yeah.
Like, is it like capped at 3 or 4, or is it like you could do 20?
I think it's capped at 4.
Okay.
So I know we're trying to get in Force as well, so
that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with False more because of the what do you call it? Not the Create Mod server. It is a server that has Create Mod on it. Vault Hunters. It's been fun.
Well, False turned up during the Christmas live stream when we were both playing, and it was just like, well, now you have to play with us when at some point. So.
Yeah, I'm considering. Yeah, that's one of the things I need to pitch to the bank. If they're like, well, we can buy equipment for you if it's something we can repossess, you know. So I might put a new laptop or other like something like that. Move that up in the queue if they'd give me a better rate on it than just a straight up cash loan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking I'm not quite ready for a new desktop yet. But editing laptop I got in like 2019 and it's 2024 now, so it feels like it's time.
Yeah, my desktop is struggling. It's got no space. I mean, XB, we chatted on the phone, like we called each other, and it was just a case of like I sent him a message, said, what about this PC? And he was like, that would be better than what you currently have. What's your budget? And then he made my PC for me. He designed it for me, and it was just like, this is better. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
So it was like, he's so sweet. Because it was just sort of like, we hung out for like talking for a couple of hours on the phone. It was like, new tip goal to get Cleo. I've got it. It's coming soon.
Did you order individual parts, or did you go through an assembly company?
It's ordered through a company that makes PCs, but it's a very reputable UK company, which I'm not mentioning because they didn't pay me to.
Good. It's good that you're not mentioning it, and not good that they didn't pay you. They should have paid you. That was their mistake.
I mean, to be fair, they did say, if you do an unboxing, we'll give you a £30 gift card. I said, I was on the phone, I said, you know what? It would cost a lot more than 30 quid to get the advertising space off me. And then he was like, they don't know who you are. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. But I'm saying it would cost like 30 quid for an advertising spot is Not
yeah,
a
not
lot.
gonna be good. Yeah. I've been kind of thinking about reworking my Minecraft skin over the break.
Okay.
But
Oh, thank you, Sveta, for the £10 saying thanks for these little streams. They help me anchor my week. Same.
yeah, I was
Last week was so difficult because it's like, well, I don't have a Joe.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna say my Wednesday of last week just absolutely sucked.
Mm.
So it was the reason I wasn't available for streaming was it was an airport day, and so normally the process for like having a child fly unaccompanied minor, which I did not want at all. This is something my ex fought for in the in the agreement, because I didn't think it was a good idea for a child to fly by themselves at the age of then like 7. But whatever. So normally the process is you show up at the airport and you go to the customer service line for the airline and you show them the adult's ID and you show some paperwork, you sign a few things, and then you go through security, you go to the gate and you do another show the ID, sign some things, that sort of thing, right? So like when my daughter flies Southwest or JetBlue, the waiting in the customer service line is like 5 to 10 minutes. But recently, my ex has started buying tickets for American Airlines, and that was a line that like zigzagged way out past all the stanchions for their customer service, and we were just standing there for 90 minutes before we could even get my gate pass to go to security. And this is I say we were standing there for 90 minutes. I was standing there for 90 minutes. My daughter was mostly sitting on the floor reading and occasionally scooting because she was not going to stand there for 90 minutes. And like we were like second to the front of the line, and I'm just like standing there and I'm just thinking to myself like, I cannot believe that this is my life. Like, there are probably a million things I could have done differently in small ways at different points, or big things at certain junctures, to avoid being in this line right now. And I'm going to have to do this like 6 times a year, every year for the next 7 years. And I just cannot deal with it. And my daughter's just like, closes her book and looks up at me and goes, Dad, what are you thinking? Just that I regret everything. Like, there must have been something I could have done better in life to not be stuck in this line right now. It doesn't. It's just like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, this just doesn't.
Well, that's Josh.
This just doesn't feel like the sort of line I would be in if I had made good choices. Like, this is a situation, like, I feel like I'm being punished. Like, this doesn't feel like hell. This feels like purgatory. Like, if I had done things well, I would not be here right now.
Yeah, no, I understand. Hey, Artie, thank you for coming over. Appreciate it. You know what, Joe? You are being punished. I want you to know that. And I want you to feel it.
Yeah,
deep in your soul.
I believe me, I do. Like, I just... And you know what? I'm gonna have to do this again for every 3-day weekend that the school has, and for summer break, and for spring break, and for fall break, and it's just like... I don't know. Like, it already sucked when we didn't have to deal with American Airlines, but American Airlines having such terrible service. Like, part of it is that they have a priority queue, and the people in the priority queue, like, basically get shuffled in between, like, they'll take one person from the non-priority queue, one person from the priority queue. And even though I don't think I've ever flown American Airlines, and I don't plan to ever fly American Airlines, maybe I need to sign up for this stupid priority queue, so that, like, who knows how much that's gonna be? Like, how much does it cost to get a priority customer service from an airline you've never given money to? Probably a lot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Metu Salem, for the biddies. It's appreciated. I don't know, Joe, but it feels like it would be a lot. Sounds like Joe's daughter may soon have flown enough to be in the priority queue.
Well, I don't know that that's the case, because I think my ex would have to, like, upgrade her ticket or something to get that priority customer service, which I don't think is happening. Because that's the other thing, is I'm not buying the tickets as part of the custody agreement. Like, if she wants to fly her unaccompanied minor, she has to pay for it herself.
Reasonable to me. There's a lot of things she should have to pay for that isn't. So this seems fair.
I don't... What is going on with this Twitch today? I'm just...
You're right, Joe.
No, I'm fine.
I mean, we know the answer.
No, I mean, yeah, but anyway. So yeah, last Wednesday, short version is I would much rather have been hanging out with you than standing in that queue.
Yeah, my appointment wasn't funny either. Are we hearing a kitty drinking? No? My cats don't drink. Like, at all. They get fed wet food, so they don't actually drink water very much.
Yeah.
Fun fact: cats on wet food don't drink water pretty much. I've seen my cats drink water twice. They still have a water fountain in the hall because I think that's part of the Geneva Convention on Cats. But yeah, they don't drink water. Fierce cats are sober. I have in-laws that used to closely track what they needed to do to get to airline priority. One year they flew to Las Vegas, never left the airport, then flew home just to get some requirement. Wow.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I don't have that kind of time or money.
Yeah.
That's, like, well, yeah.
That's the thing rich people do.
Yeah.
And Joe is not rich.
No. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills. Yeah, so...
A Cleo wet cat food endorsement. I mean... Not really an endorsement, it's just a statement of fact. My cat food's... I have tried giving them dry food. They do not eat it, so I stopped bothering. Wet food has a lot of moisture in it, so understandable. The one cat I have doesn't eat wet food often, is the one that drinks water the most. Yeah. That's how digestion works, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, my girls, they eat a lot of wet food. So, like, arguably, one might say too much wet food. But yeah. I'd ask what brand, but I imagine they... Well, no, I'm happy to do that. My cat is allergic to pretty much all brands of wet cat food. So, obviously, we have to go for the more expensive type that they eat tons of. They eat something, like, it's called Sheba. It's, like, the most expensive brand of cat food.
It's like the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah. I mean, don't get it if your cat can stomach anything else. The only reason why I have it is because my cat is allergic to everything. Like everything. Speaking of which, I'm going to check if I've got the order. What just happened? Hang on.
Unclear.
Unclear. Oh, Vex Nightmare gifted a sub. Gifted several subs, but 5 subs to the community. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. And also sub to the community. So, welcome to the Horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. There is cake. That didn't come up on my screen. Why did that not come up on my gift sub screen? What the heck? Community gifts? Gifted? Yeah, they should. They did not. Okay. I've been missing those apparently. But thank you. Might be server update lag, that's true. Sister's cat is completely spoiled and only eats wet food now. Like, honestly, I'm glad that she eats this because it's still a brand.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's not just you going to the store and buying liver and putting it, dicing it up.
Yeah, I had a cat that I needed to do that for in the past. Also, a tortoise, like, if you can avoid it and you don't fall in love with them, don't get tortoiseshell cats. Don't get tortoiseshell cats. They're neurotic. Both of my tortoiseshell cats have had digestive issues, and one of them pulled their fur out. They're just neurotic. The vet said, tortoiseshell cats are neurotic in their experience. So try to avoid if you can. Cake, I didn't see that. I'm meant to be on a diet, but if you insist, well, I always insist. The cake is completely safe. The tortoiseshell cats have tortitude. They are a nightmare. They are a nightmare.
Do you know
attitude, but breed specific? They're not. That's not a breed. That's a color pattern.
Does anybody know how deep Minecraft skin torsos are? Are they like the tops of your shoulders or the tops of your torso would be 4 pixels, right? Or is it 6? Because I'm kind of thinking for my next generation.
What, the tops?
Yeah. So
8, surely.
Well, I think is the head 12 by 12?
The head's something like that.
Okay. Salem says 4 pixels on the top. Yeah, there's an inner layer and outer layer. Awesome. Yeah, because what I was kind of thinking this time was doing a Muppet head where I don't have a mouth on the skin, but when I look upward, it there's the black underneath where the chin of the skin is and above the top of the torso. So it's my jaws, I would just move my head up and down while I'm talking so it looks like I'm opening a giant puppet mouth.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Well, yeah, but I feel like if we're not willing to push boundaries regarding maws, where are we willing to push boundaries? So I gotta keep in mind, though, that the lower maw can only be 4 pixels.
This is why you can't be trusted, Joe.
Just trying to get some work done. One thing that I feel like this is a bad suggestion, but this is one of those things where it's I'm suggesting this in earnest because I feel like it might get us to a productive solution that is not this suggestion. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
So, one thing I noticed when I'm looking back over craft streams from 2 years ago versus last year or whatever, is it's we both need a lot of time for planning. And I'm doing a lot of more planning of my base or my skins or designs and stuff, and you're doing your bullet journal. But
yeah,
we aren't doing as much cutting out things and gluing stuff and taping things. Does it make sense to either have once a month we have a dedicated no pencil and paper stream where we're making stuff, or should we have journaling and planning stream separate from a weekly crafting stream, like where we're like back to basics. Like I said, I know this is a bad idea, but like I need this planning time, and I think you do too. But I also want to have like more like hands-on crafting too.
I mean, I would agree with you, and that's fine. But as JT said, they just watched Cleo tape for an hour.
Okay, that's fair. But I guess what I'm saying is like your these streams have basically become bullet journal streams, like 90% of the time. Like,
yeah.
And you've talked about how like that's really important for your process. So I'm not saying we shouldn't do those, but like
I think it really depends on what you consider arts and craft. Like, in my opinion, this is crafting.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I feel about crafting. Does it have a set form? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean it's not crafting. I'm desperately trying to make things attractive at this point. I'm quite happy to do a 1 week where I don't do bullet journaling. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, but
I've got to find a craft to do.
Yeah, and that might be more coordinated, too, though. Where like, but like where we'd be like, oh hey, what are you gonna be doing for? Like, I just want to bring intentionality kind of back into it. Like, hey, I'm gonna be painting that week, or what are you gonna be doing? Like, or something. Because like,
fair.
A lot of times I'm like, I'll just show up and talk and I'll draw and something, and then I'm like, I didn't really draw very much. I didn't really have a plan. I did talk a lot.
Right. Joe, that feels like you didn't have a plan.
That's true.
And you're talking about intentionality.
Yeah.
So, like, whilst I agree with you,
you have
I'm
a plan with
do...
your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my stuff is fairly well planned out. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So it's a case of, like, I mean, like, to not put too fine a point on it, sounds like a you problem.
It probably does.
But I am willing to do one week a month where I'm not bullet journaling. That's fine. I just need to. You just need to give me time to find a craft to do.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to rush this or anything, but yeah.
That's fine. Like, it's a case of I've got lots of crafts that probably could be done, but I'm just trying to think about like how to do it.
Yeah.
ZombieCleo bringing people back down to earth since eternity. It's not me trying to bring Joe back down to earth or anything. It's just pointing out that I know what I'm doing. There's intentionality. There's like making things.
Yeah, I guess my point is, my bigger concern is even when I have intentionality, like, oh, I'm gonna be, well, or to some degree, I want to be able to say like explicitly like these ones are the planning streams, because I need the planning time to get my stuff done too. It's not just. I guess I feel like sometimes I get stuck halfway between like, should this be more crafty or should this be more planning, and like just separating that somehow would kind of help me do both better. Like
I think the difference in perspective, you see this as planning, whereas I see it as crafting.
Well,
which is
like for me doing skin design stuff or doing I designed my Minecraft house for the beginning of last season, or like last week when I was doing how would this water tower be built in Minecraft. Is like I think that those are good exercises for me to do, and I think they're worth streaming, but I'm not sure if they're the sort of thing people want to watch. I don't know. You're just better at like making something visually interesting, and I'm this is more of a me problem than a you problem.
That's the whole point of bullet journaling. Like, you make it your own, and for me, it's like this is a craft project. This is something like I've got like so many of these that, hang on, let me bring out like this one. It's like I've got so many things that are just like beautiful things that I made, and I like going back to them and like having like just having them as art pieces. So it's a craft it's what do you call it? At least it's like a scrapbook for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the crafting part of the bullet journal and stream, and the journaling part of the time. Yeah, pretty much. Like, for example, like I've already been doing the filling in of like the budget stuff. I've already started doing that. But I didn't do that on stream because that's weird. Thank you, Shifty Pumpkin, for the tip, the £20 tip that says Kitty Fine Dining Fund. Tell me about it. And Arterial Red has resubscribed for 34 months. Says back yet again, like athlete's foot. Never had it. So like, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know. This
like,
is a very undeveloped thought, which is kind of why I said, like, I know this is a bad suggestion, but yeah.
I'm not criticizing the thought. I think the thought is a good idea of just having different experiences of different crafts.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. And I agree with you. That is a thing that we should probably do more of.
Well, I liked when we were doing our models that we were doing the same thing, though, too. So, like, if we explicitly said, like, hey, once a month, we're going to work on the same thing. You know, somehow. Or, like, you know what I mean?
So we'll have to find something, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that solved. But, like, yeah. Or if you were just like, yeah, let's just do 2 streams a week. That would have been okay, too. But, I don't know.
I can't fit any more streams. I'm
yeah, I'm way behind on
editing. Like, my brain struggles on my current schedule, and with the Hermitcraft season 10 coming out at some point, I might have to change out the way things are, purely from a monetarily perspective. You know, because like getting in on early in the season, that helps money. Not lying. And whilst I don't talk about it like in the same terms that you do, you know, I have similar issues.
Yeah. Speaking of money, thank you to Shifty Pumpkin for tipping 20, who says, Joe Hill's pushing boundaries, buttons, and torso since 1902. So we're going to rotate the camera now to 59 degrees angular. Yeah, because, like, I feel like I don't have a good place in my week to sit down and, like, say, I'm going to mess around with skin designs. Other than this. Yeah. So, like...
Yeah.
But... Maybe...
But that for you feels like planning. It doesn't feel like crafting.
Yeah, and then, like, I feel like I didn't get any crafting done. And so, yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at.
Which is understandable, and I think I'm willing to help you. It's just a case of when, how, why, etc.
I don't know. Yeah, and I've got to find a better answer than I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like that's not that's. I mean, you're valid, Joe. It's okay.
I'm trying.
You're all right. Oh, Sapphic Whimsy tip $20 with a heart.
That's the best kind of whimsy.
Thank you. It is. Yeah. No, I get that.
Everyone loves Greek islands.
Yep. So many Greek islands. Thought your audio died. No, we just went quiet for a second. Oh, and Gamer Chat says tips 10 and says thank you for all the great videos over the years. I try. I do my best. I think I'm getting better at things as time goes on. Honestly, like, streaming is the thing that has tipped me over. in to be able to do this full time. So thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are the real MVPs. And Joe. Joe's also here.
I do what I can. And it's never enough.
You're enough for me, Joe.
Thanks, Cleo.
I don't know if that helps in any way. I'm assuming not.
Not really, but you know, it would be rude for me to point that out, so I'm gonna let him slide.
I mean, the thought counts.
Yeah, it's the thought that counts. Okay, so Steve's
You just have different versions of enough.
is 8 blocks square.
Joe is the Zoidberg of Clezo's. These are my friends and Zoidberg. No, Joe's my friend. I know I don't act like it sometimes, but you know, he wouldn't put himself through this if he didn't think that I thought of him as a friend. I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Hyperdemic Haddock did another 100 bit saying thank you very much.
Howdy Game Club Central.
Streaming's been keeping you sane during the life stuff. I mean, streaming has helped me a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my stream days are what's keeping me grounded at this point. It's the reason why I know what days of the week it is. So, if I wasn't streaming, I don't know like what I'd be doing instead. I'd probably find another project to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shots like that help is so helpful and keep. I mean, especially as a creator, like knowing what day of the week it is really helps.
Yeah, I think so because I have a kid, I've got to deal with the school schedule, so I usually kind of know when the days of the week are. I'm trying to think, like, which hermits on Hermitcraft don't have mouths? Like, because I want to look at, like...
Me?
Okay. Let me pull that up. ZombieCleo skin. Because, like...
That has to do with where my eyes are placed.
Yeah. Because that's the thing is, I think I need to move the eyes down some to really sell this. That's, I think, the biggest change. And, like, once I figure out where the eyes go, I'll fill in all the other details from there. Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, you and Gem both have lower eyes. I think Scar does, too.
Yes.
Although he's got that big... He's got the weird lopsided smile.
Yes, he has.
But it's, like, right at the bottom there. Okay. So... Okay. I think I need to make a bar graph, or a bar plot, of where people's eyes are. So, 1, 2...
Recently got a dotted notebook. Oh, really, JT? Interesting.
Dotted notebooks are the best. Okay.
They do work. They're very versatile.
Let's see. So, Scar's eyes... would be... They're like 3 up from the bottom. It's like green. Wait, no, that's 2 up. Dang it. I have already done this wrong, and I don't have an eraser. Welcome to
Joe Hills.
Yeah, we're starting over. Scarting over. Whatever. It's fine. Okay.
So what are you changing about your skin?
Well, I want to give it a gaping Muppet maw. And so I need to move the eyes down. In order, but I want to look at how other people's skins have lower eyes, because this is what gave me the idea. Because we were talking, this came out of Blood on the Clock Tower, actually. We were talking to Gem about where her character's mouth was. And I was like, oh, I always just assumed that you had, like, if you looked upward, you would have, like, a Muppet maw, but you just tended not to look up, so we never seen it. She's like, that's an insane thing. I don't know if she actually said that exactly, but something along...
I mean...
Yeah. But and I was like,
Not wrong.
well, now I want to do it. Okay, so Scar's eyes are 3 up from the bottom. Okay, so Gem's eyes are they're like right. They're 1 from the bottom there.
What, Gem's eyes are 1 from the bottom?
Yeah, like her eyes go 1 pixel from the bottom of the head. Ooh, does Scar have eyebrows? I should be.
My stream good because I've just had an OBS thing just pop up.
Not sure. It looks like it kind of froze to me. Oh yeah, I've got a no signal. Like, there's like a guy.
Okay,
with
it's
a
reconnected.
wristband.
It's reconnected. It
No,
says.
it's reconnected. Yeah. Okay, so.
I think it's reconnected at least.
Yeah.
Oh, there come the messages. Is it just balked? Reconnected with the Windows ding.
Okay.
Disconnected. But we're back. Hello. How are you? I thought it was you. You thought it was you. No. Sometimes it's just me.
So your eyes are actually wider than everybody's because they're 3 wide. Because you've got the extra like
I've got eyelashes.
or eyelashes, yeah.
Yeah. My eyes are too wide, but eyelashes, yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
Is that a roll of washi stickers? Yeah. This is a roll of. I've got like different kinds of flowers if I can find them, which I should probably use if I can find them. There they are.
Okay.
I thought my PC was actually telling me to do your D&D prep. I mean, I'm not stopping you from D&D prepping.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got these little petals and stuff. And
NK says, will
It's a
Joe
lot of
join B-Dubs and Corrales in the 3x3 eye club? We'll see. I do think that just having gigantic eyes would look very Muppety, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't look like I just ripped off Corrales, right? That's part of why
I mean, that is going to be very difficult to do.
I know. That's part of why I'm looking at how do other people do eyes in ways that could also be Muppety, and then how can I kind of... What can I learn from each to make something new, rather than, like, just taking and copying one, you know?
I mean, like, you've got a max of 3x3 pixels to work with.
I mean, I could make the eyes 4x4 if I really wanted to go bonkers with it, but I gotta be really thoughtful about how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could also have them, like, on the side of my head like a goldfish.
That's not going to be unsettling to record with at all.
Yeah, Hypno has them lower. Excuse me.
Would it jump scare Cleo if someone used it? Like, unlikely to, because I'm not in Minecraft. That is a Minecraft specific sound. Sometimes it doesn't even get me in Minecraft anymore.
Which sound?
Creeper jump scare. The hissing creeper. It's very location specific.
Oh, like if I hear that when I'm in Grian's shop, that I'm gonna have a much different reaction than if I hear it in my own base, right?
Yeah. But also, if I'm hearing it on a craft stream, then I'm probably going to be fine.
Yeah.
Joe does a 4x4, but half on face, half on side of head.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah. Like, you could have them just be just gigantic eyes.
Thank you, McLesley, for the biddies and the backpack biddies.
Well, that's the other thing, too, is, like, you know, I haven't seen a lot of people do, like, kind of, like, plus-shaped or ovoid eyes, right? Like, they usually are square or lines. But, okay. Bum, bum, bum.
That doesn't sound nice. Just crosses for eyes.
Not like X's, not like I'm dead, but...
Not like you're dead. That would be foolish.
No. We never draw Cleo like she's dead.
No. That's a thing that never happens.
Oh my gosh. I googled Corrales skin. I don't know if I would recommend it. Oh my gosh.
Why?
There's an entire category of skins that are Corrales eye adaptations of all the other hermits, and it's just Corrales' eyes and screaming mouth on like Cub Fan, Stress Monster, Beef, like falls. But like it's funny on the girl ones, the hair is still covering it, so there's just like this screaming mouth that's like and like eyes poking out from under the hair.
I've seen a green one. I'm not seeing this.
You're not seeing what I'm saying. Okay, hold on. Let me. I'll post you. I'll post a link in your chat. This is not my tipping link this time.
Oh my gosh. That's horrifying. Oh my god. Pearl is just terrifying. Pearl is just 2 white dots.
Yeah.
Green's horrifying as well.
Yeah.
What the heck, Joe?
This is not what this wasn't what I was searching for, but it's what I found. I just wanted the original Corrales skin for reference, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I mean,
the ones with the long hair are like...
B-Dubs has huge eyes as well, so...
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The women just look like they're screaming in terror. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
So
much that. My god.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Onions, you probably got caught by the bot.
Corrales. Okay, so Corrales' eyes start 3 pixels up, and then they're just 1 down.
I have no mouth, yet I must scream. No, I am all mouth and must scream.
Yeah. Well, the Elder God in our Pathfinder game yesterday, the Dungeon Master's like, this thing has an indeterminate number of mouths and screaming, yes.
Oh dear. Okay, brain needs to work now.
The nice thing about the B-Dub skin is that the pupils have a little shine to them. Like,
yeah.
Like, I actually kind of like the, There's something really solid there. That's also starting at 3 up. And there's gray, and then... Like, I really want to give the impression of ping pong balls. Is really what I'm going... You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, who else? So it's interesting, Corrales' pupils are actually higher than every other person, basically.
Sounds about right.
But Corrales and B-dubs both have big mouths that go with the big eyes.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're going to have a flappy mouth...
But if I'm going to have the floppy maw, yeah, then I can move it down and possibly go slightly larger. One thing I could do is if I had the eyes on the upper left and upper right corners, kind of like a Cookie Monster type Muppet, I could have them wrap around. So they're like circular, like pluses with like the tabs of 2 of the pluses going over the top and off to the sides.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone wants to have a 12 Corrales' party, the skins are already there. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we all showed up for the first recording with giant Corrales eyes, and we told Corrales, like...
it's the Corrales season.
But we told Corrales something, like, to do the opposite, like, oh, hey, we're all doing... Who has the smallest eyes on the server? Like, hey, Corrales, we're all dressing as so-and-so, so make sure to make your eyes tiny. Yeah, ZF, maybe.
Because Zed's just, I think, 2 pixels.
Yeah, he's got, kind of standard, like, 1, 2, 3... Yeah, they're 4 up.
It's the zodiac year of Corrales.
He's got, like, blue eyes. Salem says, given Muppets' unusual physique, you can get crazy with or unique with the presence of a nose. Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, I could have, like, a big, like, orange oval nose or something, too.
Is it bad that I worry what this is going to initiate on Hermitcraft?
I don't think anybody's gonna care, honestly.
No. I'm thinking what you're gonna do as a Muppet. Like, this is leading somewhere, and I don't know where it is leading at the moment.
Oh, okay. I do appreciate the vague sense of unease this creates. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, Joe's gonna do something with Muppets, and I don't know what it is, and that makes me nervous. Buy all the washi tapes. Yeah, the washi tapes, like, honestly, it gives me a sense of peace, the washi tape. Oh, Firehawk resubscribed for 19 months, as I just arrived just in time to watch Cleo thinking. What a rare occasion. Wow, Firehawk. True, but also rude.
I'm kind of thinking... Boy, do I really... Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I could go all in on this and do like blue skin, orange nose or something too. And that wasn't my original intent, but like the more we're talking about it, I don't know.
You're the one talking about it, Joe.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm fairly sure Cleo knows that this is in good fun, and I think she's actually cool. It's fine, Firehawk. I did, like, if I thought you were actually calling me stupid, I would probably have banned you right by now. I think you're fine. All good. All in good fun. You've been around long enough for me to know that it's all in good fun.
Oh, Stress does have big eyes. You can't really notice them with the hair, but...
True. Only 5 emotes per message, guys. That's otherwise it gets flagged and the bot deletes it. So
yeah. Personal Zombie says, I was imagining a chroma green Grover, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that's the other thing, is I was like, would I do chroma green, or would I, like... Because I feel like with chroma green, it would end up looking kind of like Kermit.
yes, it would.
And that would then, you couldn't do like Kermit's nose is his mouth kind of, because he's a frog. He doesn't have like a nose like some of the other Muppets, like I guess Scooter doesn't have a nose either. I'm trying to think of like an example of a Muppet that has like one of the like colorful noses. Like Telly Monster has like a like orange nose.
This stripe feels very 80s to me. Grover doesn't have a nose. I mean, it's possible
Grover
to
has
not
a
have
pink
a nose.
nose. Bert and Ernie both have noses. Dr.
Yes,
Teeth.
they do.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Going for kind of a Dr. Teeth vibe would probably be great here. Get a big
He's
beard.
like the most horrifying one.
Yeah, well, when people ask me, Joe, how do you like your mayhem? I always answer, electric.
Yeah, that's because you're a nerd. Now I've got to figure a way to do the days of the week on this one. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah. Hey, we got a tip rolling in. Thank you to Leslie for tipping 10, who says Happy New and Fresh 2024 to you, Joe. Thank you so much. That's going to bring us up to 69, dudes, for the rotation. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. I am not going to copy and paste that Corrales link again. Let me find my actual
Because
tipping
that's
link.
horrifying, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Peridot Hair says, I'm not too familiar with Muppets, but I just looked up Dr. Teeth and immediately went, oh yeah, that's Joe.
Yeah, but we don't encourage Joe, because that's way madness lies.
Yeah. So I will say, like...
Excuse you? Stop being mean to each other.
So I will say that thematically, like, my builds and what I was considering doing this season was all, like... It didn't have a good joke to it. It was all, like, super serious. And so I feel like the Muppet angle will... I could just do whatever I was gonna do anyway, but, like, give it a little bit of Muppet spin on it. And then all of a sudden we go from something where I was worried. I was like, I think this is a cool project and I'm excited about it intellectually, but I'm not sure if it's funny. But, like, let me dress like Dr. Teeth. And then
And then it'll be magically funny.
Yeah.
Most directions involve madness with Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, so if I... Yeah, there's something here.
Is it Dr. Teeth? Is Dr. Teeth here? Is Dr. Teeth in the room with us right now?
I'm not going to do a Dr. Teeth voice if that's what you were fishing for.
I wasn't.
Okay.
But that's okay, Joe.
We'll leave that as a we'll leave that as an exercise to the viewers. You can all oh, you know, if we could get Ollie smuggled into the server, he could dress with an animal skin and he could be Animolly.
Yeah, that could work. Stop being mean to each other. Is Cleo talking to the chat or cats? Surprised you didn't hear them. They just had a bit of a slap fight. I think GLaDOS is wanting attention from Atlas, and Atlas is just like, let me sleep, bro.
Okay. So.
Please bring Ollie back.
We
Ollie
were...
is a special sausage.
I was gonna try for the Blood on the Clock Tower thing, but it didn't quite work out.
Didn't quite work out.
Hopefully, though.
Like I went to Eloise's chat yesterday, and Ollie was there, and Ollie was just like, "Hello, Cleo. We have hung out and we are friends." And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Do you remember the good times?" I'm like, "Oh yes, all the good times, the times that we had that were good." Like, Ollie, why are you like this? How do you... Squircles? Would squircles work?
They're like square circles, I think.
Yep. I'm just trying to think about how to do...
So... Does Dr. Teeth have eyelids? Or are those glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to figure out if those were purple glasses or eyelids, but kind of... Yeah. Hard to tell with his hat and his hair in some of these shots. NK Art says, Joe, I just did a little sketch of how the eyes extending to the side of the head might look. How do I get that to you? I don't know. Post it on Tumblr and tag me, or Twitter and tag me.
I love how the universe is just like, nah, it's still Twitter, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, getting Ollie smuggled into my labyrinth like a cat smuggled into a dorm room. Yeah, that works. Is that a thing in the UK? In America, you're not supposed to have cats in dorms, and so everybody has to, like, smuggle them in.
Why are you putting cats in dorms? That's awful.
Well, because people don't want to leave their cats at home when they go to college.
What? Why do teenagers have cats?
I don't know. Practice for when they're parents? I don't know. Why would anyone have cats? Pest control?
No, but why should I'm sorry. This might just be a me thing, but like you shouldn't take on a pet until you're actually in a position stable enough to take care of it yourself. Like I had a cat, technically speaking, but it was my family's cat, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I have issues with that. It's like if you're in a dorm room, you're not in a financial position to take care of an animal.
Mm-hmm.
You just aren't.
That's fair.
You also weren't allowed pets in dorm rooms here, so yes. It's the answer to your question. Don't own a cat currently because I could not provide for it properly. Yeah. Like, I have spent over the last 2 years, well, I say spent, my cat has cost over the last 2 years something like 10,000 in vet bills.
Yeah.
Like animals are not cheap, guys. They're not. They're also living creatures. Don't put them in a position where you get tossed out, or they do.
Okay, so let's go to Tumblr and then figure out how I can find something that somebody tagged me in. Latest.
My niece is tweenage and has a bunny that my friend could keep. When they had to take it to the vet, she actually used her own money for it. Valid, but like I say, vet bills get out of hand very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I know from whence I speak. Like if you like, I feel like the minimum, like you need to be able to provide for your pets. Is all I'm saying, and
yeah.
I feel very strongly about that because they're living, breathing creatures. Annoyed Cleo.
So NK Arts did a sketch of what I was kind of describing with the eyes, and then tagged it as "Everyone that isn't Joe Hills, ignore this." So I've posted a link to that in everybody's chat. But obviously,
that's perfect.
I'm the only person.
That's perfect.
But yeah, that's basically what I was imagining, was having the plus circles, but off to the sides.
Yeah.
With big nose in the middle. Yeah. So that way you've got enough of the pupil in front that like it reads. It's not completely goldfished.
Hello.
Hello. It's me, a cat.
Specifically GLaDOS. Which the chat doesn't often see.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Frady cat. She was going to her perch on the windowsill, but said hello first.
So, let's see. I kind of would like to have, like... I don't know if there are any Muppets that have colored irises. I think they all just have, like, black pupils, but...
I think so, yeah. GLaDOS is gorgeous. GLaDOS is a pain, aren't you, sweetheart? She's staring at me now. I think she wants food. I'm going to have to go out and get food for them because they've run through the last box quite quickly.
Oh, no.
Well, I've got the next box on order. Hang on, let me just check my mail to see if they've actually... No, I'm going to have to go out and buy them food. Yeah, no, I buy... Choo choo! Got ourselves a herb train! No, like I've got food on. I've got a box of food on order, but they haven't sent me a "you can come and collect it now" message.
Yeah. So
what have I missed?
I'm looking at
MCQB or McQB, I think it is. Just join the horde. If you look to your left and to your right, you'll see there are no exits. There is cake though. Vex but better has resubscribed for 6 months saying, Happy New Year, Cleo. Joe, hope your guys 2024 goes amazing. Me too. And McLesley has cheered biddies. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm looking at like how far down a Minecraft helmet goes too. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do the eyes lower than where NK put them. Like that's a solid like proof of concept for having them wrap around the sides of the head. But yeah, in order to have like the helmet not look completely wrong, it looks like I need to start 4 pixels downish. And I need to have the nose start 4 pixels down too. So yeah, I wasn't trying to critique it as non-proportional. I'm just like trying to figure out where I would want to do it.
K-Mingo has resubscribed and says, here's to lots of fun streams in 2024. Thank you very much. Yes, hello, kitty. This is proof I have a second cat. Because there are a lot of people that are just like, I've never seen GLaDOS. I do have a second cat. She returns. Or she's staring at me because she wants to be fed. So she's going to keep on moving backwards and forwards just to get my attention, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Although it is getting towards time for me.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been a couple of hours. And I do need to go and get them cat food.
That's fair. I feel like I should probably have hair.
Not necessarily. Do you want hair?
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm just considering how to do, like, I'm thinking, like, you know, in a lot of Minecraft characters, they'll have like a 1 pixel eye and they won't have a black pupil, they'll just have the color. Like you, Scar, and Gem all have just 1 green pixel. So you know, maybe I scale that up and I just have like a giant blue 2x2 giant blue. Hey, Green Sky, alaikum assalam. Or like, I could do it kind of like B-dubs where I've got like them kind of triangular, with like a little bit of light gray in there. I don't know. Yeah.
Stop headbutting the mic.
Oh, I could also use the outer layer of the skin to have like a black pupil floating above like a blue eye. It's gonna look kind of floaty,
Okay. Could
You...
be doable.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Uh, outer layer... Actually, outer layer black over blue eye? Question mark? That could work. That cat is very excited.
She's a pain in the bum, is what she is. It's less excited, more hungry, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know when she's hungry because she just gets in your face all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
There we go.
I am looking at this, and this looks deranged. I think we're onto something here.
I see GLaDOS uses the same technique as my girly pin. Get in the way and be adorable, but also annoying. Yeah, mostly annoying. She is very cute, though. But she doesn't come around for hugs and love very often.
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact that she uses affection to get her way... I know what you're doing. She's not very cuddly except when she's hungry. Anyway, I do have to go at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep working for a little bit because I figured out something here with... I think I could use the outer layer for green glasses, maybe. Because
Maybe.
Glasses are hard to do in Minecraft because they're so small, but if these eyes are this big... I could also maybe do a pumpkin with big green glasses. Kind of like Impulse's beard.
What's your Twitch name these days, Joe?
Joe Hills.
Just Joe Hills. Okay. Okay, I'm going to send everybody over to Joe. Have a good rest of the stream, Joe. You got this. I think you can.
Yeah, thank you,
I think
Cleo.
you've got a good concept.
Got a concept, yeah, at least.
Also, things. Oh, and Gamer Chat has. I don't know what that means, but I think you've resubscribed for 2 months in advance. But thank you. Appreciate it. Or it's a 2-month. I'm not sure. They've changed the layout, and I'm confused. So I'm going to send you all over to Joe. Thanks for being awesome. Those of you who are already with Joe, you have my empathy.
Thanks, Cleo. Keep adventuring.
Yeah. I'll see you later, Joe.
See ya.
Okay, I've sent them over.
Okay.
I shall stop streaming.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see you later, Joe.
Bye, Cleo.
Have a great day.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
So, what I'm realizing is, as I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want to do the nose, so this is what we've got so far. Like, our head shape is basically this. The maw, when it opens, this would be on top of our torso, like this mouth. Here's the eyes. I'm trying to figure out underneath your glasses. I've got kind of some sketches of all the other hermit's eyes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, raiders. Just as a reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. So, if I did the glasses on the outer layer, I could have them floating and kind of wrap around in a way that I think might look good. If we look at the actual glasses here, which is hard for me to do, they're relatively flat on the top, but then they kind of come down like triangles. So, we could even trace those if we wanted. No, maybe we can't. No, I don't want to like directly touch the glass to the paper, but the bridge of the nose can touch. That was probably terrible. Okay. Yeah. So, it's like we've got like sharp lines down here. and then kind of like straight across. Oh yeah, we got Cleo in the upper left still, don't we? Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Boop. Okay. So if we want to have these basically go straight across up top here, maybe dip down to there, and then go across like that, maybe. And then go around, right? So at this point, hey, welcome, Face On. So at this point, we have glasses that could go on the upper layer here. The nose then needs to fit underneath that. So how much space does that give us for the nose? That gives us basically a 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically that gives us a space like that. So let's say I was thinking we would do like green for the nose, but if we're doing the glasses green, we obviously can't. So let's do an orange nose for right now because it's high contrast. So the 2x3, if we just did that, would be just this rectangle here. And I mean, that's looking pretty Muppety right there. Now, assuming we had the eyes wrap around, so let's like dot 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 this line here, dot 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 dot. This is where the wraparound point is, and then we continue this way, like so. I'm kind of doing this a little lighter on this side here to show that we're past the wraparound point. We would want my hair to come down. Yeah, I thought about doing part of the nose on the top layer too, but I feel like with the glasses, that doesn't work as well. I feel like if the glasses are on the top layer, we got to keep the nose and the eyes on the base. Okay, so looking at how this wraps around here and how these glasses actually come to a point, probably need to have glasses come down, or come like that, and then so if that's where that is, and then we have this come to here maybe. That's going to be aligned with that, and that's going to be aligned with that. We're a little high in the frame. Oh, sorry. Have the bottom be 1 pixel. It's more of the original shape. Maybe, but because of the way it's got to wrap around, it'll wrap. Like, where it's doubled on the bottom is at the wraparound point on both sides. So we kind of, I think that sells better. Because we, you know, these aren't necessarily reading glasses, but they do need to be readable. They do need to read as glasses. Okay. Badger says, I know my next major craft when I move to the U.S. We make a Jopit. Jopit? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. So let's see. For the hair, I feel like, where's the traditional Minecraft Steve hair? Okay, traditional Minecraft Steve hair goes down 3 blocks in the center and 4 blocks on the edges. We obviously can't do that. What does my hair actually look like these days with the headphones and stuff? It does have like a slight angle to it, but it's not like super steep. This is about how I wear it. I do want this to be recognizable as me, so we're gonna draw a little bit from that, but not too much. Okay, so like from head on, I have a pretty big forehead at this point in real life, so we're gonna use that. Okay. Okay, so let's say 2 in the center here for the hair. I need a browner color. Maybe brown. That's more brown, yeah. So we definitely go all the way across. I can't think of any Muppets with brown hair. I guess it's not just a very Muppety color, but also I don't actually want to get sued, so there's also that. And then Fozzie, yeah, I guess and Rolf, I guess, has brown hair. So, like, if it went down like that, I kind of feel like maybe having it 2 over, like, so it's got a little bit of an incline here. And then maybe went down another 2 here, so it's like implied eyebrows, but there's not any. As we go off to the side here, goes another 2. Goes down another 2 here. Okay, how far out is this actually going to reach? So this is going to go... So in theory, if I kept that angle the whole time, my hair would eventually get down to here. But, yeah. Realistically, once it gets to my ears, which are like in kind of the middle of my head, then they would go down more. So I feel like so Muppets don't usually have ears unless they're like... Muppets usually don't have ears unless they're like Ralph, who has like, you know, huge dog ears. Kermit doesn't have ears. don't think Gonzo has ears. Rizzo, being a rat, has ears, but, like, since this is more of a humanoid Muppet, Walter did. That's true. Don't think Dr. Teeth has ears. Swedish Chef. Yeah, he does. And then people are saying the current concept reminds you a lot of Beaker. That's not necessarily a terrible thing. Bert and Ernie have ears. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Bert and Ernie do have ears. But like I would imagine, like let's say that we're just gonna imply the ears right now. Like the hair should get steeper at about here. Maybe even here. So it's gonna go from a 2 to a, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to just kind of, you know, dot 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 this line across here, dot dot dot. Now, the other thing I got to do is I got to sort the upper mouth. Fallstar says, what is the skin tone? The skin tone will probably be pale blue. Let me get that in there, just to... Not sure how well that's reading on the camera. I don't want to overdo it. It's not going to be... it's not going to be... What do you call it? Gonzo... Or not Gonzo. Yeah, it's not going to be Gonzo dark or saturated. I do think that the upper half of the mouth, which I haven't locked in yet, needs to have, like, a line of teeth. Welcome, Dolphin. So, let me work out how big... So, where's my protractor here? Okay. So, also, let's make a mark for the teeth and the... Boom, 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 boom. So the upper mouth is actually going to be a full 8x8, whereas the so I almost feel like I need to have pale blue to kind of imply like cheeks, and then we have teeth, and then we have like just darkness. So this is the bottom, the underside of the head would have a row of teeth, but the top side of the torso would just be all tongue. Once again, we're going for a maw feel here. Dolphin says, pretty rare I see a YouTuber make his own skin. I don't really see YouTubers very often in general. Okay. So we have bottom of the head, top of the torso, side of the head. That's going to be the same on both sides. Top of the head is going to be more hair. I might bring the hair to be a much darker brown. This is just kind of concepting out the spaces. The glasses are also going to make it more clear where the ears end. So if I was going to have the ears stop there, that's how many blocks in? So yeah, the glasses would go this far. And maybe have one hook. Yeah, have a little... I might not even have the hook down with the glasses. I might just have it continue across. How do the glasses on my current skin work? The Rendog glasses that we're borrowing. Yeah, pixel art can be tricky. So that's why we're planning it. Just as a reminder, if anybody's enjoying the stream, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We rotate the camera 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in. Okay. And so let's see here. Okay, so name MC. Joe Hills says... Status is unavailable. Great, really? Okay, so the Ren glasses are just 3 pixels, and then they stop entirely. Okay. Minerva says, what made you decide on a Muppet theme for the skin? Well, I wasn't going to go all in on the Muppet thing originally. I was just going to do a Muppet mouth. But I feel like figuring out how everything else goes with that would be a good starting place. It's a work in progress. I'm toying with it. This is a starting point. So it might be that I end up keeping certain elements of this. And then in some ways it's creepier if I don't go all in on the Muppet thing, if it's just the giant maw, which is where I started. But I'm like, well, let's see how goofy we can make this too, and then dial it back until it's creepy again. So this is an experiment, right? So we're trying to figure out what does and doesn't work, you know? Because a lot of Minecraft skins don't have noses. How many Hermit skins have noses, actually? I'm trying to think if any of the Hermit skins have noses. Like, if I go to hermitcraft.com and I look at the top there, I guess Axolotl Lissuma has a nose. Mumbo has an implied nose because of the mustache. Etho has a top point to his mask. Does Scar have a nose? Good question. Yeah, Scar has a nose. Does Ren have a nose, or does he just have glasses? He's got kind of like a mustache. Sapphic Whimsy, best name ever, by the way, says Joe not beating the Eldritch Horror allegations. I mean, that's kind of what we're going for long term. Yeah, a lot of people have implied noses, but most people don't have noses at all. And so I kind of think, so the Muppet version of this has a nose, but it might be that I might do a few variants of these and just slowly transition from one to the other, right? All right. Yeah, but the idea, one thing that I really wanted to do was try to get my clothes into the game this time. So, like, I've got, like, in terms of clothes, I've got, like, teal long sleeve shirt, and blue jeans. But the problem is that ends up looking a lot like existing Minecraft. That's like a lot of what I actually wear in real life already kind of looks like my Minecraft skin stuff. So that's not a great thing. So I do like the idea though of having tank top. I do like the idea of having a variant of my skin that's in my like chroma green tank top. And then I've got like maybe gray trousers for that, because a lot of times when I'm doing craft streams I'll be wearing like gray trousers. But yeah, I one joke that I had that I didn't get to do this season was I was going to build a washer and dryer at the beginning of the season in my starter house and actually just change clothes every day and be like, oh man, it's so nice having a starter house with actual appliances in it. And so just and I would have, but like all of the outfits would be based on outfits that I actually like would wear to conventions or like at places where people might meet me. Like they would all be based on clothes I literally already own. And so then when people showed up, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're cosplaying as your character." It's like, "Nope, my character is dressed as me." um so yeah, that's something that I was thinking about trying to do as well, was just like having so I want to figure out basically the head and whatnot of the skin, but then I want to have like a bunch of different clothing variants for it. So there's not one necessarily correct Joe Hill's skin. I would want to have a few @ t-shirts in the mix as well, in different colors for different holidays. Okay. So like, oh, Mardi Gras. When is Mardi Gras in 2023? That might be around when the season launches, right? Or 2024. Yeah, let's figure out what year it is. Mardi Gras falls on Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Okay, so like Mardi Gras @ shirt. Mardi Gras @ shirt. Maybe Easter pastel. Okay, what are holidays that people would have like colors for? Like Halloween and Christmas are back half of the year. But like what's in the first half of the year? Cuz like having different color themes of the @ shirts. We did that when Mumbo did the button the first time. I had different color shirts, or I had the black and gray one for Demise. Minerva says that would have been incredible to see, but a lot of work to get that many outfits. Yeah, but we have this whole hiatus. So, Valentine's Day. That's also in February. I don't know if we're going to be back in time for that. Valentine's Day and Mardi Gras are both first half of February. St. Patrick's, yeah. Yeah, so green for St. Patrick's. You know, if I did like a, honestly, St. Patrick's green and Mardi Gras green, that's actually kind of safe. I could have like green and yellow for Mardi Gras and green and white for St. Patrick's and be safe. Pastel for Easter, I was thinking. Yeah, Halloween's back half of the year. Hanukkah's back half of the year. I'm trying to think of stuff in the first half of the year, like for around when we might be launching. I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing a Halloween t-shirt when we're not at Halloween yet. April Fool's isn't a holiday people dress up for. Microbird says in the Discord chat, I am loving this concept and kind of want to do it for my own Minecraft skin. Good point. Just as a reminder, anybody who's interested in joining the Discord, it's part of my Patreon. $5 a month gets you into... $5 a month gets you into the Discord. $10 a month gets you access to my Minecraft servers, like my Vault Hunter server. April Fool's doesn't have a color scheme for doing the @ symbol, though. April Fool's, like, maybe I would make a costume as part of whatever prank I was playing, but, like, if we're just looking for, like, what are the recolor the @ symbol shirt days in the first half of the year, I feel like Mardi Gras, green, gold, and purple, Easter pastels, Valentine's Day, and St. Patrick's Day. July 4th, technically the second half of the year. But also Flag Day is in the first half. So we'll count it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Nola, so those aren't days that people like associate dressing up with certain colors, right? We're looking for holidays that have like clear color themes that we would recolor the @ symbol shirt for, and President's Day is not it. You know, I could do each color's national holiday. Dolphin says do a skin for every day of the week. Well, that's kind of what I was looking at, was having enough outfits. Nola says, make sure if you dress up for Mardi Gras, tone it down a little bit after that for Lent. Oh, that's also true. I could just have, like, a scarf in with whatever color the liturgical calendar is in. Summer and beach shirt aren't specific to a day, but does seem like a seasonal recolor option. That's true. Yeah, so that's the thing, though, is, like, that's more of a different outfit than a recolor of the @ symbol. Because, like, I do have, like, summer outfits that I would wear to play on con. Like, I would want to have those as skins. Like, if you were going to see me wearing certain things at a convention, or if you were going to recognize me at a convention, like, yeah, type of thing. So... But yeah, I want to completely throw out my current Minecraft skin because Mojang might crack down on people who are using Steve skins in other media eventually. So that's what I'm looking at. Spring equinox, also not really a particular color thing. Like, Easter is a holiday with associated colors, right? But spring equinox is not. But one of the reasons I don't necessarily want to go full Muppet is if I go full Muppet, then I'm right back into having Disney sue me. Because like people have been asking me, like, Joe, why don't you make plushes, or why don't you make stuff with your Minecraft skin on it? And it's like, because I will get sued. Yeah, tax day is not a good one to dress up for. Okay, also, I need to post to my Pathfinder group. Just a reminder, Mardi Gras is on a Tuesday. Again this year. If we need to start RSVPing to things, it'd be great if we decided up front if we were playing that night. If we decided sooner than later. Oh, just a, okay. Just a reminder, Mardi Gras is on a Tuesday again this year. I was thinking, I should probably say February 13th. I was thinking if we need to start RSVPing to invites, it'd be great if we decided sooner than later if we plan to play that night. Okay. Would I dress up for another Kermit's birthday? Only Kermit the Frog. Sapphic Whimsy says, are you going to do all the way to Halloween and Christmas? Yeah, I am. But, Hinalda says it's always on a Tuesday. Marty is French for Tuesday. I know. That's the joke. It's like when I say, guys, don't forget Easter's on a Sunday this year. But yeah, okay. Nola also says that's kind of the point. Yes, I know, Nola. Yes. That is the joke. But every year, so my Pathfinder plays every Tuesday, right? And every year we get to like the day before Mardi Gras and everybody's like, I have a bunch of parties that I said I wasn't going to go to, but my wife really wants me to go. Maybe we should cancel. And I'm like, I already RSVP'd no to a bunch of things that I can't get back into, or like it's too late for me to change, like too late for me to book something or get a ticket to this thing my friends are going to because we didn't decide. So we always end up canceling last minute on Mardi Gras. And I'm like, this year, can we cancel 6 weeks in advance? Just as a treat. So that way we can actually get our friends accurate head counts or plan our own parties. But yeah, I'm saying it because it's a problem every year. And we never plan ahead far enough. Okay, so I feel like we're in a pretty reasonable spot for this stream. I've got to go have lunch and get ready to go run some errands and take care of some other stuff around the apartment. Yes, we are definitely on the same page, Nola. Let's go ahead and do last call for tips. If you've enjoyed this stream, if you came over from Cleo's, I appreciate it. Just as a reminder, last call for tips. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay, so real quick, yeah, so we're gonna finish writing down some of these things. Halloween, which would be black and green. or no, sorry, black and orange. Halloween, Christmas. Okay, for outfits, we got those. Like, for the summer clothes, probably unbuttoned shirt and shorts, which would be more like and then like dun 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 dun. So I feel like also having the pale blue skin is gonna make. Oh well, then I don't want to have a blue. I do like doing the kind of Beetlejuice-y blue skin. Because like my actual like whitish pink, basically my skin tone is pink. Isn't like at that point, if we got to pick a baby color, uh, pastel blue over pastel pink maybe for the skin. I'm not sure that Memorial Days, like days in memory of dead people, are good days to have skins for. I like if I had a Pearl Harbor Day skin, no matter how seriously I intended it, given the fact that I have a giant Muppet mouth, it would not read as reverent. And so I'm not going to be doing specialized, even though I might do a specialized skin. Like, technically St. Patrick's Day does remember a dead person. You're right. Easter remembers an attempted dead person. But like, if it's like Pearl Harbor Day or Veterans Day or Memorial Day or any sort of day of remembrance, specifically of like people whose lives were lost unnecessarily, like September 11th, that's just not a good mix. That's not where we're gonna go with it. Okay. And we got a tip rolling in before we wrap up. Thank you to NK for the 5. Rolling the camera, another 5 over 74. NK writes, glad I was able to help a little with the concept drawing. It's always fun helping facilitate others' ideas. Thank you very much, NK. Okay. So, Mossel Bob writes, attempted dead person is the best description of the Christian Godhead I've ever seen. Thank you, Mossel Bob. Alright, we're going to go ahead and send folks on their way. Because we've been going 2 hours and 45 minutes now. Guess who's on my favorite active Hermitcraft server? It's our pal Impulse. We're going to / raid Impulse SV. And our raid message will be, howdy y'all, Joe Hill's raid here. Thank y'all so much for joining me. We're going to give that raid a second to queue up. And there it is. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop streaming. Stopping the stream.